Being resilient comes in many forms. On today's episode, we talk about the resilience surrounding being single in your 30s. The reality of the situation is that as you age and have taken a different road to relationships, it can come with judgment and questions surrounding your worth. I want to pause and say a relationship doesn't define your worth. Today, I am joined with my dear friend, Rachel Gandy, as we discuss dating, relationships, our upbringings, and success as Black females. Rachel is a very accomplished woman, leaving her mark on the world. She is known for her fundraising efforts when she worked with Congresswoman Terry Sewell. She's also worked with the governor, as well as the governor's Office of Minority Affairs. Rachel received her undergraduate degree from the University of North Alabama, holds a master's degree from Houston Baptist University, and is now nearing the completion of her doctorate. I am so proud of her. Our transparency in this conversation is meant to show an educational moment for others to understand more about us and to help break stereotypes. Fair warning, this episode is filled with too many giggles and laughs as we're college besties catching up. Let's learn. Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast, Rachel. We've known each other for a very long time. Too
Yes.
long.
Yeah.
We don't talk all the time, but when we get together, it's like we pick up from where we left off.
The
That's
best
kind of
the
like our
best types of
relationship.
friends, the adult
Yeah.
friendships. I love.
I mean, that's the only way
Yes,
I feel like to do it as adults, to be honest,
for
because
sure.
we have too much going on. But I'm excited to have you on.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be on your podcast. I love the name. I love everything it stands for. And to
Oh, thank
me, anything you do is always just superb and awesome. So I love it.
You're so sweet. You're so sweet. So I thought we'll just talk a little bit about you, just starting out and telling us about yourself.
I am from a small Black town called in the rural Black Belt called Tuskegee, Alabama.
Hmm.
And my journey ended up taking me all the way to UNA, where I met you.
Yes.
Uh, and being from what we like to call the Black Belt is a section of the 12, or it's more like 14 rural counties. They're the poorest counties within the state. And so being able to go from where I'm from, parents are educators, they're really big on that, to meeting you at UNA, my career has kind of taken me in the political realm. As you know, I've worked
Yeah.
for a governor, a right-leaning governor at that. I've worked in several offices after that, but my biggest, I always say my claim to fame is working with Congresswoman Sewell as
Yeah.
her director of finance for many, many years. And now where life has landed me, where I'm finally feel like I'm working in my field, which is in philanthropy and grant writing. And I'm at the Black Belt Community Foundation doing the good work of getting grants into our community. If anybody wants to know about us, it's blackbeltfound.org. So I'm writing grants now.
You talking about your story from the beginning of growing
Yeah.
up in Tuskegee to
Mhm.
now, you're working with this
Yes,
nonprofit. I mean, I feel like life is such a full circle moment, and it sounds like that's a full circle moment for you.
it is.
Yeah.
And as you know, I'm still at UNA. I'm a few months away from defending my dissertation. And
Yay.
it's on broadband access in rural businesses. So I'm trying to take this time that we've talked about so much, taking the time that we have while this journey of finding a partner, doing something in between the time.
Yeah.
So you bring awareness to what you've gone through, and then mine, and I feel like is getting money back into the Black Belt and changing mindsets and culture. So it's exciting.
It's
It's
true.
exciting.
I think we really help people see and break those stigmas around Black women and what we
Yes.
can do and who we are.
Yes. You started off early though, Brandi.
Well, I mean,
And Kyle, can I go ahead and just tell them what I know
okay, go
about you,
ahead.
Brandi?
You're just like my mom. Go ahead and tell the people.
I love talking about Brandi, but when I first got to UNA, Brandi was just this light on campus. Eventually I ended up staying in the sorority dorms, and your sorority is in the dorm.
Hmm.
And I remember seeing you on campus with SGA and being involved.
Yeah.
And then this big rumor was going on campus, like Brandy's running for Miss UNA. And it was like, oh my gosh, like we're gonna have a chance. And I was there when you won, and it was just so amazing, the first Black Miss UNA. And I was like, she seems so cool. And I don't really remember what happened, but we just started laughing one day in SCA, and we've
Yeah.
taken off
I
ever
don't I don't
since.
remember how we became friends either now that you say that.
I
We just
don't
kinda,
know.
like, hit it off, and it's always been like that.
I was like, oh, she's an upperclassman, so I'm cool too.
You're the cool one now.
Right, of a cool one, and just seeing how you navigated your time on campus, and I was similar, trying to, still maintain your integrity,
Yeah.
but still remain true to yourself. I believe that's where we both started just kind of aligning and being friends and comparing like our journeys. And it's like, whoa, okay, we're both out here trying to
Mhm.
balance the worlds of, I call it, you sometimes you step a foot in one world, step foot in another world. And we were trying to balance that. So
No,
we
it's
still
very
are.
true. I know, I feel like it never ends. You think it'll end, but it really doesn't. But, I mean,
It
you've had an
doesn't.
amazing career too. Let's give you some hype as well. I mean,
But thank you,
you've
Jesus.
worked with Congresswoman Terry Sewell, a
But God,
governor. I mean, you've been in the
yeah,
political world and have been able to handle it graciously. That's
but
not an
God,
easy world to be in.
it's not
We have similar stories from, like, a career aspect and just I
for
feel
sure.
like growing up too and what our parents have
Mhm.
taught us. I think we are very similar in that way.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
In the sense of our parents wanting better for us, but
Mhm.
we're unique and your sisters are unique where we knew and very much understood the sacrifices they made for us
Yep.
to even be here. And I think as I'm talking to some of the younger girls, they're not always fully connected to a lot of the sacrifices that their parents, shoot, even us, has even
Mhm.
made so their lives can be better. So sometimes having that awareness, Brandy, I think we both can say is a lot and it can be heavy at times.
Mhm.
However, we're like, if they could do it, we can do it. Let's keep moving forward. But I was talking to a homegirl of mine today. She was, what do you say, the life we're given, and she was kind of struggling with kind of like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's okay to feel exactly what you're feeling, just don't stay there. You
Exactly.
know, of
Exactly.
sometimes she was mentioning like sometimes it was like jealousy or envy of where other
Yep.
people are. And she's a Christian, so she was trying to, still have faith. And I was like, it's okay to feel it for a second and deal with it, pray about it, and just keep moving forward, you
Yeah.
know? And she was like, I needed to hear that. And I'm like, I think we all need to
Mhm.
hear that.
Just touching on jealousy, that's hard to handle. Like you said, when I became Miss UNA, my parents were so excited for me, but they were also very worried for me because I was the first Black, and I
Yes, you
had
were.
to go and be on campus every day.
Every
And
day.
in a little way, in the beginning, I had to watch my back because I didn't know what that meant for my
Um,
university. I didn't know if
yes.
I would be accepted. I didn't know how that looked at all. And
Oh,
there
yeah.
was a lot of jealousy.
It was.
And to be honest, blacks and whites, I had jealousy from both sides, and I think that is where I really understood how to navigate jealousy and people because it's really not about you, the jealousy
No,
is it's really about that person,
for sure.
um, but yeah, that's a hard one to handle.
And I remember that's when we
Mm.
kind of started, 'cause, you used to come in the office all the time
Mhm.
because of Tyler. Shout out to
Yeah.
Tyler.
Oh,
You
the
and your
other
roles. And we
Yep,
would talk about that a lot because it was like you had to watch everything that you did, right? Everybody was watching all the time. And it was just a lot. And I remember we just would laugh a lot, and you're like, I like this. I like laughing. And it's just like sometimes when you're head down and trying to be protective in these spaces,
yep,
sometimes it's hard to be like, okay, where's my safe space?
exactly. My safe space was my mom. She was my
Yeah,
safe space. She was the one that I could call and vent to about
she's the
anything that was
best.
going on. Yeah, I was always
Yes.
coming in there because I had so many events going on. I was navigating going to school, going to all my classes, but also, okay, what's on the calendar for this week for Miss UNA? So there
Yes.
was a lot of that going on. But
Don't forget about Miss Alabama in itself.
yeah, and then preparing to go to Miss Alabama for the Miss America pageant. So if I would have won Miss Alabama, I would have gone to Miss America. But
That was
that in itself is its own beast, preparing
it's
for Miss
it's
Alabama.
stressful. And I
Yeah,
never made it that
yeah,
high, but in my own world of pageantry or scholarship winning, whatever they want to call it, it's tough.
it's
It's a
tough.
lot of practice,
Yeah,
poise, how you're going to answer questions, and if you're going to be aligned with kind of like where you're from. I mean,
yeah.
you had a lot going on, girl.
I
You
did, but
did.
also everything I did, I had to think about before I did it because
Yes.
I was not being the first Black of anything or being Black even in the work world, you are working twice as hard.
Yes, Lord.
And that was when I really felt, okay, I have to
Yes.
work twice as hard. I have to know every move I make before I make it because
Yes.
I don't know who's watching me. I don't know who may complain about anything that I'm doing.
Yes.
It was a year of literally being cautious, but also being present and showing
Hmm.
my value as a Black person and what we
Yeah.
can do when we win the crown as well. That was
And
really my main motivation.
and let's not forget too, Brandy, you are still focusing on your health.
Health too.
Can
Yeah.
we just
What is wrong
add
with me?
that?
I did a
I'm
lot in
like,
one.
that's a lot for someone that's 21
Yeah.
years old, Brandy. I mean, away from home,
Yeah.
you know,
2 hours away
like
from home. Yeah.
that was just like the on top of like you other responsibilities. That was your platform and what you want
Yeah.
to spread awareness from, but very actively in the sense of I have to remain healthy and watch
Mhm.
myself and not stress out. I mean, girl, you got a lot going on,
I
girl.
had a lot going on, but it's so funny. Like even in between that time, that's when me and you became friends.
There's just a lot going on campus as well. I mean, navigating the space, but you did the best you could, and that's
Yeah.
all you could really ask. All we
Yeah.
both could ask, and just maintaining good friends. Because UNA, even though they're still very diverse, and even now is even more minorities present on campus, it's still, we're in a sector of the state that is known has a history of so many different things that's not
Yeah.
necessarily welcoming for us, but thank God we didn't necessarily feel that all the time,
I know. I know. And I came from a background of going to at the time, it was predominantly white school. That was my world
Yeah,
already.
it
So
was.
going to UNA, it wasn't any different for me. I wasn't,
Right.
around
Hmm.
other races and didn't know how to react in those situations or how to
Right.
behave in those situations. But that's not everybody's story. Yours was
It
the
was
same.
it was the same.
Yeah.
I was in a private school because where I'm from, the education system in the early childhood stages was great because my mom's a kindergarten teacher. But as we kind of got up towards sixth grade, I had to move. Now I'll never forget. Did I tell you the story how they're like everyone? Because I left in December and started like a whole new school in January.
No, I didn't know
It's
that.
at like 12. And they were like, we have a new girl named Rachel, yada, yada, yada. And I walk into the classroom and
I know what
everyone
you're about to say.
gasps. I'm like, because there's another Rachel, but she was white.
Right. Yeah.
So they were, and it wasn't like one of those mean gasps. It was a genuine surprise. Like, what?
Yeah.
Okay. I was one of, at that time, 3 out of 70.
Mm.
So when I came across the bridge, first journey, traveling into UNA, that Muscle Shoals Bridge is so beautiful with the river. And then getting on campus, everyone was so nice. I saw so many different types of people. And the way they expressed it, they said it's a place where you could be a big fish in a small pond. It's
Mm.
enough where the teachers you can talk to. I didn't really have a lot of issues with teachers. Like I just had a really good experience. I mean, clearly I'm still there
Yeah.
15 years later. But it wasn't everyone experience, but I like the fact that it was multicultural twists. Remember we used to have multicultural night and
Yes. I loved that. I emceed it one
Remember
time
that?
when I was Miss UNA. I loved it. We had a famous person, Priyanka, that went to our
Yes.
university.
Yes.
I remember telling her like, "Hey, like I'm emceeing this event for like the multicultural night, but I want
Hmm.
to wear something that's not offensive, but something that shows
Hmm.
another culture." And she gave me like this all white, like
Hmm.
Indian outfit to wear, and
So
it was
pretty.
gorgeous.
It was pretty.
But I love that because I felt like, oh my gosh, like we're all kind of mixing cultures and
Hmm.
nationalities and learning from each
Yes.
other. And
Trying
I
different
always think about
foods.
that night, trying the different
Yeah.
food. Yeah.
Yes. One of the ways I got nominated on Homecoming Court was because of the African Student Organization and BSA, Black Student
See?
Alliance.
I love that.
So, mind you, I've asked, I was like, do I have to be African to be a part of it? And they were like, no, girl, come on. And, at UNA, we could get funding for some of
Yeah.
their events. So we did that. And it was, I can't say 9 times. Girl, I think I went on a date with an Indian man.
Look at you.
I sure did. Me, his name was Akash. We probably dated for like a little
I
while.
I I vaguely remember this now that you say this. He was cute.
He was so cute, so fun. We ended up graduating, but he was really nice, and it was safe. I mean, it was okay to
I
do it.
love
Like
that.
love is
It is,
love,
honestly. It really
but
is. I know
yes,
we always talk about relationships too, and that's like a big topic. I feel like whenever we go to dinner, it's
for
just like
sure.
relationships where we are. It's just hard to date in general. I mean, with social media apps,
Yes.
for me, I feel like maybe I expect more and I put up with less.
Hmm.
Is that
Let's
what it,
just
you
sit
know?
in that, Brandy, because it's
I,
true.
I feel
You
like
know.
that. I feel like sometimes maybe I put too much pressure on a man where they're not understanding or really knowing how to maneuver it. But for me, I'm like, hey, this is a boundary.
But also, Brandy, first of all, your daddy looked like he 25.
My dad gets hit on all
All
the
the
time.
time. Your
He
parents
gets hit
look
on all the time.
young.
They do. Both of them do. Yeah.
And so to me, sometimes that's already like when you've had
Yeah.
an active dad, whether it's not dad, uncles, etc.
True.
So we're used to, even honestly, you're in Birmingham, I was in Tuskegee. I had a community of awesome black men who I saw were married to black women, my brothers. When he was here, his pool was these wonderful, beautiful black women. And just now, though, the world has changed.
Hmm.
And statistically, I'm a nerd. Statistically, African American men that do come from two households is like less than 50%, right?
Yeah.
Um, People who do have two parents in the home, that percentage goes down even lower than 50%. So for I think young women like us who's taught to be ambitious, literally being pushed to be the best,
Yep.
working twice as hard,
Yep.
and you're looking like, okay, like, and let's just be, I'll say this. I've been in work environments and I'm looking at the other young black men and I'm like, okay, we're both here. We should be here. And they're
Yeah.
like, competition? Absolutely not. And it's a shock. That
Yeah.
has been a real shock of you think or your parents have raised you because back in their day, that is kind of how it went. You met someone at work through your family. Both of my parents were striving for the best when they got together. But now it's almost like the age old tale of it can't be two of us, just one.
Yeah. It's that mindset, I feel like nowadays. Yeah.
It's
And
hard.
and also being like ambitious people or ambitious women, there have been times where I've just like held back and I'm like,
Yes.
I don't want to say
Want
too
to,
much.
mm-hmm. Right?
I don't know how this is going to impact them, which is
No,
not how I should be. I'm not saying that that is the way to act or be on a date, but
but it's
I
real.
have held, it is real. I've held back because I don't want that to be the reason why someone doesn't want to be with me because they're like, she's too ambitious.
Right.
I don't know if I can do this with her.
Yeah, it sucks, but it's
It does.
also what my therapist has said at one point. She was saying we're the young women though that are breaking the generational curses in the sense
Mm,
of women couldn't get their first checking account to the 60s. It's not that long ago.
it's not at all.
So we're the young women, Brandi, that's not necessarily like, I have to have one, because that was a very real thing. You
Yeah.
know, my grandma used to talk about it, rest her soul. She had already had a child. And so when my granddad, she literally was just like, he will help me come up more in the world because she didn't have education, etc. But now she used to say, you can work now, you can have
Yeah.
your own, and you can actually date a man because you like them, not because you need them.
Oh, it's true.
And I think, and to some men, just men in general's credit, you know, they've been taught you provide safety, etc. But
Yeah.
now it's like, oh, she has her own. So you mean you
What
have
do
to
I
just
do with
like
that?
me?
It's true. What do I do with that now? Yeah, you don't really need a man like you
No.
said, like you needed them back then. But also, I
Right.
mean, to the perspective, you even talking about the statistics of
Mm-hmm.
household and growing
Mm-hmm.
up with both parents in the household and
Mm-hmm.
what that actually looked like. We are not the norm.
No, 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 no. And most guys, and I'm sure you've heard this too, they can say they can tell that we had a dad.
Yeah. How?
You can tell.
How? Like,
Randy, I
but
think
yeah.
it's
No,
little stuff
yeah.
like, Brady, you speak up what I do admire in our career journey and our personal journey. You speak up for yourself very well, and it's not, let's just say, as aggressive as mine has been. But you have that accurate balance, being stern and still being
Yeah.
like really feminine.
Yeah.
Mine can be a little whatever. I've gotten much better, but I think that's the difference, Brandon. You stand up for yourself. I mean, you could take a
Yeah.
little bit, but eventually you're just like, hold on, wait.
You know me too
If
well.
you
That's very true.
if you tell me the sky is blue, I'm always looking up to double check.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It's true.
it's
It's like I
weird.
can only handle so much, yeah, for a certain amount of
True.
time. And I'm open and honest, but like you said, I do try and balance that femininity with it of being
You do.
caring also because I mean, and
Yes.
my mom has always said it too, like men, you've got to come with them with the right words as well. Like
Abs
there are
and
so many
tone.
times as us as women where we use
Yes,
the wrong words. We are quick to put down men, quick to put down men in our relationships, and
for
that does
sure.
not help the relationship. It only hurts
No,
it more. My mom has always preached that to me and my sisters.
true. In general, you know, for those of
True.
us that are Christians too, it's technically not even a Christian way to even go at anyone
It's true. No,
that way. But it's a work in progress in the
it
sense
is.
of, because we're in a new world, you know, owning our own things and being independent, also not getting married and having children at such a young age anymore,
Yeah.
but being able to do the opposite of growing our careers, etc., and then really have something for our own. It's the first time,
It
you
is the
know.
first time. I never thought about it like that, but it's true. It's really the first time we are breaking a lot of generational curses. But what comes with that is being the first of anything, it's not easy.
Girl, that's what I thought your podcast name was gonna be. The first.
But it makes it easier for the women that are gonna come after us. Like,
Yes,
it makes me wonder what is life gonna look like for women 20 years, 30 years after us? What is that really gonna look like?
well, I was actually watching something on TikTok this morning. Believe it or not, some of the this is very raw data, and I don't know how legit the scale is. A
Mhm.
lot of the generations below us are getting more conservative because they're, if you think about it, now that a lot of women are more prone to be academically focused, work focused, career
Mm,
focused, at times that could have left a gap in the home where maybe a child felt like,
true.
oh, my mom's working so much, she's not focusing on me, versus understanding the gap of what the sacrifice truly was for.
Mm.
They are now being like, no, the woman needs to be in the home, she needs to do this. And I'm just hoping that there could be a fine balance, you know.
It sounds like that's what we need to do is find a balance.
Yes, because I mean, Brandon, preferably, would you have preferred, knowing that everything that you know now, the age that you
Yeah.
are, would you have preferred to have gotten married and started a family earlier? Or are you like, you know what? I'm in the spot I'm supposed to be in.
I'm in the spot I'm supposed to be in. As
I
hard
think.
as it is, it's the truth. I feel like, yes, I could have started a family earlier, but I don't know if I would have been happy. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if I don't know if I would have felt stuck and
Mm-hmm.
stayed because of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So,
100%.
as hard as that is, because it's a hard journey of being single in your 30s. That is not easy,
It
especially in the
ain't.
South. Let's put that on
Yes.
top of it. I think the way it worked out is the way it should have. Now I still
Same.
want a family. I still want kids. I don't really want a relationship because everybody's in a relationship. I want a relationship because I want somebody to do life with.
I know that's right.
I
Partner.
want a partner. And one of my episodes, that's what we talk about, is finding
Hmm.
a partner in a relationship.
Yeah,
Somebody that wants to do life with you. I think that's beautiful. But I
for
want
sure.
a true relationship. I don't want one
Hmm.
that's surface level or
Hmm. Looks good on paper.
looks good on paper, looks good on social media. That's not what
Okay.
I'm looking for.
No,
So, and
no.
that's not easy either because you both have to be on the same page about that, and you've got to match each other also. Yeah, it takes a
Same.
lot.
Yes, because even all the way down to the way you discipline your children. I mean, so many things happen besides just you and that person being on the same
Mhm.
page. It goes all the way down to how you raise kids, where you want to live. I mean,
Yeah,
Ashanti and Nelly are married with a whole child, and they still can agree where they want to live.
I know, right?
That's, you would think that that would, and it was a conversation, but sometimes as women, we're like, well, it could get better. I know when we get to this point, it'll be better because it's about checking boxes.
Yeah.
But I think you and I both have subscribed to wanting real partners who majoritarily, I don't know if that's a real word, can agree on morals, values, our directions in life.
Even also just thinking about like my health journey and what I've been through. My parents, that's
Hmm.
probably nothing that they ever thought that
Nope.
their child would go through. But you've
Yeah.
got to have a partner to possibly go through hard times of your child possibly being diagnosed with something like that. How does that
Ooh.
look for y'all? Will that change your relationship? Like you said, finding a partner, it's not just about you and that partner. It's about
Mm-mm.
everybody else that you bring into that family as well, and the ups and downs of life and how you manage it.
Are they open to therapy, or if not therapy, are they open to talking to your parents or any other couples to help you navigate? Because one thing I am realizing, I'm like, friends that are couples are going to help save you in a sense. Not saying you have to have five couples, but if there is another couple or three couples that you all can be each other's safe space, right? Like, hey
Mhm.
man, I think I did this, or having that, was it a community,
Yeah,
you
it's that
know?
community. Yeah.
Yes. So as far as with my little update, I feel like now the person that I'm talking to, Brandi, if you would technically, if you look at him, you'll be like, okay, well, he works outside. He's a farmer. He uh, likes to be on the land with tractors. And it's like, actually, he's very much so educated.
Yeah.
But his passions and beliefs align with mine, right? So I kind of thought like, oh, suit and tie, a person that's doing this and the other. But what we match up the most is our values, where we're
Mhm.
from, and how he treats his family. But it's the same because we come from neighboring counties, right? Exactly. And actually, an older gentleman matched us up together, girl.
Oh,
Brandy, and he's younger.
okay.
Right. But if you would not know if you're talking
I
to
love
him,
that. But I feel like
right?
that's one thing too is that the person you I've hear this a lot. The person you end up with
Hmm.
is not the person you have in your mind. Who you think they will be,
Yep.
what you think they'll look like is usually not that person.
Nope. But if you've gotten in touch with your heart, and what you're clear on and what it is that you care about,
Yeah.
you can, because there was someone else that technically on paper, I don't think they got talked to you about it because it wasn't worth talking about, but it's talking about the decisions I think young women like us have to make,
Mhm.
who come from all walks of life. This other gentleman, perfect, lake house, nice. dressed well, could
Yeah.
talk well. But when it came down to our values, we were not aligned,
Mm,
surprisingly. I'm a little bit, I don't mind. I mean, we stay in Alabama, so I'm more so in the middle of the road. But it was almost values were a little bit too far for me in the sense that we couldn't meet in the middle. And there's no bad blood.
yeah.
And we're still great friends. But when it comes to raising our children, what he wants to teach that's important to our daughter
Yeah.
would be totally different from what I would want to teach. And even though on paper and pictures, it probably would have been nice. But like you said, Brandi, like how would you all navigate life together? You know,
But that's a
and
good point too of like that's a question that I feel like should be asked on dates too is
yes,
how do you parent? How did your parents parent you? Like how were you raised? I don't think that always happens on conversation. It's not easy to bring up either on a date,
right,
but those are very important questions because like you said, you're finding a partner. You were looking for more than just somebody that looks cute or somebody that looks good on paper. Like
right.
you
But
have
it
to have
should
more
be,
substance.
we should, but I think when I reflect on the many, many dates and friends, it should have been easy to talk about in the sense of so
Yeah.
much going on in the world now. You can't help but see certain things, and it could be a simple thing as, what did you think about the sweet girls that, that thing that happened in Texas? And it
Yeah.
should be okay to talk about to the person that you're dating of like, what do you think about it? Or people are blaming X, Y, and Z. Do you think that that's real? It should be. And when
Yeah.
it's not, and a person's kind of running from it, not saying like sitting there on the first date, but even
Yeah.
second and third, it should be really easy, Brandy, to just bring up, you
Yeah.
know, certain things and talk it through without it being weird.
Yeah. No, you're right. It should be. And if it's not,
Yeah.
maybe it's more of a red flag when it's not.
That's what we're very consciously aware women. I mean,
It's
very
true.
much so.
Look, we are investigators. We will find things out. Okay?
I'm a Scorpio
We can
girl.
read signs.
We can
And if
read
we don't,
signs.
we have a girlfriend that can read a sign for us.
Oh, but that also may be why we're single too, or struggled with being single because we are too aware.
Yeah. Yeah. Too aware.
My
Like
mom used to say, I can smell him. I can smell him away. And you know.
as women, we have this little sense. And if we would just listen to that too, it would guide us,
Yes.
to
Because
be
it,
honest.
it could save us from some very dangerous situations.
Yeah.
And because did you hear that conversation on TikTok? And it was like, would you rather be in the forest with a man or a bear?
Or bear.
I never thought that deep about it, but the responses was
I know.
insane.
Most people pick the bear. Yeah.
And that's scary because I don't believe that everybody's a bad man. Like, no, I
I don't
don't
think
think
so
that.
either. No.
But it pains me that so many women have these, I mean, legit horrible
Yeah.
stories.
Experiences. It's very
Yeah.
sad. Yeah. It's more people than you would think too that have those experiences. I don't know what the statistics are on that. You probably do. You're good at the statistics, but I know that it's more women that
Yeah.
have had those types of experiences than that haven't.
Oh,
And
for sure.
that's the sad part of the situation.
It is. Unfortunately, I am a victim of violence, and it's really sad,
Yeah.
But we all sit here and smile behind our makeup, and we have to literally keep pressing on. It's really it's something else. But that's why I've tried to. I was actually going to talk to you about it was a lady on she's I love TikTok, but she's a therapist, and she was talking about, I believe it's called the tall poppy syndrome,
Hmm.
where it's like where one poppy, or in a metaphorical sense, when a poppy is taller than the others, or a person is maybe shining a little bit brighter or taller than the other, it brings in an attraction. And she was saying how with the studies of the brain, I don't know how she backed this up, but she was saying it's actually harder to be positive than to be messy and mean. So
Mm.
instead of me being like, as I was though, Brandi got her first Black Miss UNA. I like her. I would love to get to know her versus first Black Miss UNA. I mean, she did this, and and it's
Yeah.
actually harder to be that way than to just be like, good for her.
Yeah.
Like, ooh,
Rooting each other on. Yeah.
that's really sad.
It's sad. And I think that's one thing, like woman to woman, that is hard is to really find genuine women that really are rooting for you.
Yes,
I'd say from my experience, it's not always easy to find
it's
women
not.
that are rooting for you. Sadly, I wish
Yeah.
it was better. I mean, because we honestly, we all need each other as a community of
Yes,
women. I think women are so much stronger together
for
than apart.
sure. Yes,
Yeah.
especially in today's time.
Yeah.
It's been really hard. Well, because my thing is that I want to think that everyone does have the best intentions, but when I reflect on the times that I've, like you, called my mom or went in the car during a lunch break and cried, it was at the
Mhm.
hands of another woman of color, a black woman. And I don't like that. And I
I don't
try my
either.
hardest not to be that way. I think I've told you, like, if you ever see me veering off, girl, correct me because that's not cute.
No. And I think it's hard to say too that that's been our experiences is, we've had those experiences with other women of color that haven't been so nice or don't
No.
really want to help
Even,
even
yes.
career-wise. Like I've definitely had those experiences and I hate saying that because minorities, come on, if we all join together,
We would
seriously,
be unstoppable. I mean, we have been. You know,
yes,
we birthed this, the civil rights movement was birthed right here in the state of Alabama.
yes,
And that actually, I'm gonna send you the video because she goes through several different types of syndromes. And one of them is that there's not enough space. It's like either me or you. And
mm,
how in the African American culture, if we're both in the same room, it's always, or a belief can be embedded in someone, well, I have to do better than her because I want to be this, that,
yeah,
and that. And that's just, in my mind, you can be you and I can be me and we can exist at the same time.
exactly.
But I can't help but sometimes think, I don't know what that young woman, my mom says, Rachel, you can find an excuse for everybody. And it's true. But I'm like, I do. But I keep thinking, I'm like, I wonder what this girl had to go through for her to even get to that cynic place of
Yeah,
thinking, there had to have been someone that betrayed her so deeply that she in turn is spewing that negativity on me.
yeah, it's true. She's had
And
some experience in her life that has gotten her there where she thinks, "I can't be
I
friends with
can't
her."
be,
Yeah,
and it doesn't excuse, I think, someone being mean, but I do always try to put my foot in someone else's shoes. But it's like, you still have to protect yourself at this point, especially when you realize, like, we can't coexist and be friends. It's so disappointing.
it is. It is.
Oh, but that's why I believe you have to have your safe spaces. Like, you and I will call each other every couple months, be like, okay, we need to
I
check
know.
in because these people is tripping.
Straight tripping.
Straight
It's too hard.
tripping.
Yeah.
Right. Instead of support each other. Like, what's wrong with that?
Yeah. I mean, it really just speaks to if we all really supported each other and used our resources as women, black women with each other, we could get so much further.
Because I have run into, even at my new gig, in the sense where, no, when I left my old job and now I've started this one, it was still kind of like, I literally used to say, like, oh, you look so pretty today. And they'd be like,
Mhm.
what?
Not
And
used to it.
right. And they said it took them about 3 months to realize, oh no, like she's really nice. Like,
Yeah.
it was a small office and it was only like four women out of five. It was like four women. They were all moms. What's wrong? I got these little $10 like Starbucks gift card and wrote a note. It was like Happy Mother's Day. And they were like, but in my mind, I'm like, yo, we work with each other. Why would
Yeah.
someone not want to give you a Mother's Day card? Like, I don't,
Yeah.
but people are so cautious and
They
I
are.
get it, but it's not cool.
No.
But we're, we're, we're breaking down barriers, Brandy.
We are. And I've got to remind myself of that, especially when it gets hard, when it gets frustrating. Like, no, like you said, we are breaking a lot of barriers down. We are that generation to do that. But the
Yeah.
work life is hard too. I mean, who wants to work all day every day? But I am thankful that I'm able to do like things that I'm passionate about. Let me turn this around. Because who wants to?
Absolutely. And like you said, it is better because I'm like in something that I really, really love. Like I
It is
love doing what
true.
I do. But it's
Yeah.
just like, why can't we just like have 3-day work weeks? But that's why I like watching my Real Housewives. It helps me escape. Like,
Hey, I like stupid humor, like, or I love good trash TV. I will be honest. That is like
yes.
my escape. Yeah.
It's because honestly, as you're breaking down these barriers, it's one of the things that I have come to find out that is like a real thing. Brandi, and I know when I say it, you're gonna know this. It's called executive fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
it's just being high performing all the time,
Yeah.
you know, it literally weighs you
It
down.
does. It's a lot
And
mentally and physically and emotionally. Yeah. It
in the
does weigh you
way it shows up in our relationships, it's like, okay, I don't want to make any decisions. What I want to choose if we're going out to eat. But after that,
down. It's all up to you.
right, it's all up to you. You can drive,
That's
but
funny.
it's real because I'm like, it's like
Yeah.
simple tasks that I'm just like, oh, it's from consistently like making choices, like you said, being the first or being the only at work. It's a lot,
It
you
is a
know,
lot. It is a lot.
but you're doing the best that you can. And if I do say so, you're doing a good job, girl.
You are too. What are you talking about?
I mean,
Grant
yeah,
writer over there?
girl, just trying to make a difference, girl. I'm
You're
trying.
doing more than that. Wait, okay, so earlier you talked about going into politics.
Going into politics, like
Yeah,
as
I
an
thought you wanted
office.
have you thought about running ever? Because your dad is in politics too.
He
Yeah,
is. And I think about it sometimes. And, as I'm getting closer to like finishing like my schooling and stuff and
yeah.
realizing that Black people are less than 3% of the population that even have higher degrees like that. Black women now,
Good
we
for you.
may, girl, we may be at 1.5%.
Oh wow.
Yes, it gets even lower
Oh my
because
God. That
it's
is
hard,
low.
right? It's
Yeah.
hard. So in my mind, I'm like, if God calls me when the time comes for whatever it is, at this point, I feel like I would be prepared. But
I can see you in
whew,
politics.
I'll never forget the congresswoman doing this one time. She was in DC in this Ways and Means meeting, and the main thing she brought up was people who live in mobile homes.
Mm,
Whatever that legislation was would have had a direct effect on that. And who'd have thought in front of this glitz and glam, these big old rooms, because
yeah,
it's very intimidating, as you know,
it is. Yeah.
and her to think about people who live in mobile homes. And I'm
Mm,
like, I know that's right, because there are other people I mean, if you live in LA, that's not your concern. You're cheesing with, Will Smith and them. Like, that's not. But for her to still think about that. So when I think about someone that wants to run that would think about that,
yeah.
it'll be you, girl.
Somebody's kind of well rounded in that.
It will be.
Okay. I mean, you have to help me more than anything. You know more about
I help raise some money, girl. I
all of
love
that
raising
than I
money.
do. But I think it would be really cool.
You should. I mean, I'm all about helping people raise that money, and I really genuinely see myself as Olivia Pope. Like I want to fix things. That's where I will.
Is that your dream job?
It would be.
Yeah.
It would be any way to influence policy and having the ear of people,
Yeah.
and honestly, just making things happen and not creating excuses. I am really big on Brandi. I don't believe in the word no.
Yeah.
I
And
believe
you
in
need
option A.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how can we make this happen? And Olivia, I was watching her last night and I was like, she just makes stuff happen and I want to
It made
make
me
it
want to
happen.
watch it again. I love Scandal. That's such a good show.
It is. And that's me. I don't care. You can call me blue, you can call me whatever, but I'm
Yeah.
speaking on the behalf of other people. What can we do to make, I'll never forget, and it's not a secret, she'll tell it. The congresswoman was trying to make some improvements, like one little minor edit to a bill. Literally, y'all, not kidding. I think they were like going out early morning for a tennis thing. she got herself to look like she was going to tennis, and I bet you she made it happen.
I
And that's what I'm talking about, going
I
the
love
extra
that.
mile.
Yeah.
And you got to do it,
Yeah.
you know, and be right. So, you know, that would be dream job. But right now, I'm just trying to finish. You know what my mom's been trying to start? A caregiver support group.
No way.
And if you think about one of the things as women that falls on us more than men is caregiving
Yep.
and people suffering,
She used to talk to my mom. My mom is that's what she did, like, for years.
girl, it
Yeah.
ain't no joke.
It's no joke, because you take on their emotions, everything they're going through, their ups and downs.
Mama, Mama Nancy used to say all the time, there's a special place in heaven for caregivers. And
Mhm.
I believe that
It's
because
very
you almost put yourself to the side, you
you
know?
do. You do.
So that's why mom was like, I want her to support. And it was kind of challenging for her. She was caregiving for her mom, but other people still had their mothers who were nowhere near in the stage that she was.
Mhm.
So you're one of the things is I'm sure as you know, you can't sleep. You know, you're having to monitor
Mhm.
their meds.
Yeah.
Illness makes you different. So who she had to talk to was just kind of me and my dad and her
Yeah.
family, you know. So, but now that it's a lot of other people's turns, they're like, Miss Candy, you know, and she's able to give a little bit more advice. But
Open
when you're
up.
going through it, it can be isolating.
It can be. It can be very lonely. And then
Yeah.
even the middle of the night where you're going to the ER or in the hospital, and I mean, the sleepless nights that you get from all of that. There's a lot that caregivers go through.
That trend on TikTok, and it was girls like showing videos of their mom doing things for the first time, and the captions are normally just like, I still have to remember that my mom is just a girl, you
Yeah,
know.
it's true.
She's just she's
And
just a
this is
girl.
I saw one time where it was like, I have to remember that this is my mom's first time knowing how to
Hmm.
parent me. Like, you get so frustrated with your mom, but it's like they don't know what they're doing either. They're figuring
Nope.
it out also with this.
But I love the fact of getting older, being more now friends with our moms
Mhm.
versus it just being like mom. Just like, no, that's my
Yeah.
girl.
Yes. Yeah. I'll call my mom in a heartbeat.
So,
Sometimes I talk to my mom probably too much within the day, you know, 'cause
amen. I'm like, I don't even think I ask anymore. Am I getting on her nerves? I don't know. And just be like, ha ha ha. Like, you'll be okay, girl. You know, and don't let me get home and like see her in person. I am like stuck like Velcro. It's ridiculous.
I think we had such a good conversation. Thank you so much for
Mhm.
joining me on this podcast.
Yeah.
I do like to leave the listeners with just like one piece of advice or information, something to kind of keep them going on in life. I know we talked a lot about being Black women growing up, the challenges that we face now. What advice would you give somebody that, say, like earlier, like you said, you're mentoring? What advice would you give somebody that just needs a little bit of understanding of how to navigate those tough situations?
Mm, you know, I'm always going to break the rules. I'm going to say two things.
Okay.
The first thing, I was the funny thing, I was thinking about this morning or yesterday when I was leaving class, and it truly is what my grandma used to say. It's like, if you believe it, you can achieve it. Like,
Mhm.
whatever your goal is in your mind, if it even comes to your mind, like when you're going to sleep or in the shower or doing something like, oh, I think I can do that. You can do it. You just have to put the dedication and the time in.
Yeah.
And the second piece of advice is something that I've said to my, I call them my babies, but they're all around the age of 10.
Aw.
Yeah, I have my five babies. They're my babies. And it's so simple, but it's so true. And speaking to women, don't be a mean girl. We do
Mm.
not do mean girls around here. Being a mean girl is not cute.
Yeah.
Be of support to someone other, even when it's like someone necessarily doesn't deserve it. Because especially in the workplace, honestly, what reflection they have of one, unfortunately, they're going to view us all that way. So if
Mhm.
you see someone, your fellow sister struggling, you see their slip may be showing in the sense or whatever the case may be, be the one to still reach out, do what you're supposed to do, give that advice or hey, a heads up, even if they don't appreciate it. You do your part because we're all in this together. And it can be a stretch to be like, well, they don't deserve that. It's for the greater good. And the greater good isn't built in big sections, it's built by small things. And who knows, that small thing you do may be a bridge to something better, to a lifelong friendship, you know?
It's true.
So,
And I like that that's a lesson that you're teaching your little kiddos now.
you're my
Yeah, it is a
babies.
definitely a good life lesson that I think is needed when you're younger too. It makes it easier
Yes.
when you get older.
'Cause they
Thank
are
you
getting a little
so
bit
much.
older.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for joining us on this podcast. Love you.
Love you too, Brandi. See you again, girl.